Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock, Drogheda. On this day, 94 years ago, the 26th of May, 1927, the Ford Motor Company ceased production of the most influential car in history. Now, you've probably seen the Model T Ford. If you've ever watched an old Laurel and Hardy movie or any of the silent movies, the Model T Fords were the cars that featured all the time in those. Until the Model T, cars were a hobby for the wealthy. You had to really be a member of the aristocracy, an industrialist, or a considerable amount of spare cash to be able to put into your motoring hobby to be able to own a car. It would probably be similar to how we would view somebody who owns an private aeroplane today. But the Model T Ford basically rolled off for 18 years. They rolled off the production line and they brought motoring into the price range of the ordinary working family. And you could have Henry Ford famously said, that you could get the Model T in any color you wanted, as long as it was black. Now, it wasn't only built in the United States. Ford had manufacturing plants for the Model T overseas, including Ireland. The Model T was made here in Ireland. Henry Ford's father had actually emigrated to the United States after losing his farmland in the Great Irish Famine. And whenever Henry Ford then wanted to set up the first purpose-built Ford factory outside of the United States, he had a dream that he could build it on the farmland that his father had lost. And so he travelled to Ballinascarthy in West Cork, and there he found the piece of land that had once belonged to his father and had lost it during the dreadful way people were treated during the famine. And he made an offer to buy his father's former farmland to become the site of the new Ford factory, the first ever purpose-built Ford factory outside of the United States. A sentimental decision. And the three single brothers who owned the land, thought, wow, this is an amazing amount of money we're getting offered for the land. But they went and sought advice from the parish priest, which doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, if you're wanting to do a sound business decision, what do you go to the priest for? But they went to the parish priest. And the parish priest said, look, fellas, you know, this is a rich American. You could make a lot more money. So turn down his offer and he will come back on his hands and knees begging for you to sell it to him at a higher price. And so they refused to sell the land. Well, I said that it was a sentimental decision, but not that sentimental. And so Henry Ford said, all right then, you don't want me to buy it, I won't buy it, and returned to the United States. Now, he did later return to Ireland, and he did set up a plant in Cork City, but not in Ballinascarthy. The village of Ballinascarthy missed out on something that would have created jobs and made the name of their village famous all around the world, and they missed out on it from sheer greed. So the Ford plant in Cork City produced the Model T and many subsequent Ford models, and it produced vehicles right up until its closure in 1984. The reason being it was just too expensive compared to some other places, that actually just to deliver all the parts that they needed to construct a car, Ford could actually construct an entire car just for the price of the parts in many of their other plants. Just for logistical reasons, Ireland and Cork no longer made sense for producing cars. But I want us to think about the greed of those three men in Ballinascarthy. They were offered the real estate deal of their lives. They were offered something that would have been such a blessing to their community and would have guaranteed jobs to their descendants. And they missed out on it out of greed because they overreached themselves with greed. You know, the Bible says in 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 6, godliness with contentment is great gain. We don't need to be greedy. And the Bible again and again does speak about contentment. Now that's not entirely fashionable. You know, we're supposed to be discontented. We're supposed to be always pressing forward for something more ambitious. But these guys were offered a good deal and they missed out on it because of their greed. I do believe God is a God of blessing. I believe God will bless you today. I believe he will bless me today. But let's make sure that we don't fall into the trap of greed, even as we enjoy the blessings of God. May God bless you today. Join us again next time for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.